Hello everyone, welcome to Gaming Gold episode 19 for September 12th, 2013. I hope everybody had a nice week. Today I wanted to talk about, no easy way to say it, noobs. And being nice to noobs. So everybody, I don't care who you are, you could be the number one player of StarCraft in the world, you could be, it doesn't matter who you are. You were a noob at some point. At some point, whatever game you were playing, you didn't know how to play. You started, you figured it out, maybe you read, maybe you had somebody teach you. It doesn't matter. Even Monopoly. I mean, when we started, we had no idea what the hell to do with Monopoly. We had a basic idea of when you go around the circle, okay, but then you get better at it. You buy hotels, you buy houses, you try and get to that point where you can buy all the railroads, so then you control the whole thing. But those are more advanced strategies that when you just start playing, you have no idea. You don't know any of that stuff. So, and it's that way for any game that you play, whether it's a card game, whether it's an MMO, whether it's a fighting game, doesn't matter. So everybody is a noob at one point. Now here's the thing: most people, after they're no longer a noob, which is debatable on whether any of us really stop being noobs at some point, they forget how it felt to just be playing it, to just start playing a game and things like that. If you play Street Fighter and you're a master at it and you can pull off every single combo and you know exactly when you're fighting this guy to stay this distance or else he'll catch you, all that stuff, a lot of people don't. Especially new players. I mean, new players aren't going to know for sure. So realize that just because you're really good at something doesn't mean that everyone playing the game is going to be that good for a number of reasons. Skill, the amount of commitment that they have. I myself am a very skilled player, but I don't dedicate the time that I used to. Like, I used to be a hardcore raider, and I used to do 40-man raids, and I'd top the healing meters and cleansing meters and stuff like that. And then later, when we were doing 10 and 25 man, so I was DPSing, I'd top the DPS meter. Well, I could do that, but the time investment is pretty large to make sure that you know the fights, that know your rotation, know exactly what to do, when to do it. And then there's also skill involved. But just because someone is messing up doesn't mean that they're not skilled. Maybe it takes them longer to learn a fight, and that's just the way different people learn. Sometimes, maybe if they go and read a strat, they're fine. Some people that works for. Some people, if they go watch a video, it's fine. But a lot of people have to get in there and physically do it in order to learn it. And you may pick it up in 2 fights because you learn really well from watching the video and reading the strat on TankSpot or whatever, but some people don't. Some people don't learn it that way. They have to go in and figure it out. And that doesn't mean that they're not a skilled player. Okay, it just means they have a different learning style. So, taking all that into account, be nice to noobs. If it's somebody's first time in a dungeon, or somebody's first time in a raid, or somebody's first time playing a game, be nice to them. Because if you're not nice to them, they don't stick around. If they don't stick around, then later, when you're looking to put together your 25-man raid team or whatever, and you can't because you're missing that one healer, well, guess what? That guy that when you were level 30, and that level 5 guy that you trash talked and badmouthed, who stopped playing the game, maybe he was going to level a healer. Maybe if you were nice to him, he would have stayed playing the game. Maybe you would have been friends and you would have had a really good healer. We were all noobs at one point, and you never know the outcome, how things are going to be. So be nice to everybody. I know I sound all yay, happy, rainbows, and no, it's not about that. I had an experience earlier this week, and I'm not going to name any names or anything like that, but it's just it's a matter of trust is a little bit of it, but it's just a matter of treating people the way you'd want to be treated. If you're not doing that in whatever game you're playing, doesn't matter what game you're playing, whether you're playing Final Fantasy, whether you're playing World of Warcraft, whether you're playing Monopoly, whether you're playing Street Fighter or Injustice or whatever, whether you're playing Call of Duty. I don't even want to get into it, but I probably will here in a minute. The Call of Duty and 12-year-olds or 11-year-olds that are really bad out there, because they can be, and that's something that is really is helped in a lot of ways. I mean, I've made tons of friends playing MMOs and playing online and stuff like that. Hell, I met my girlfriend almost 10 years ago playing online, and we're still together. But it also, because there's this screen, right? Because we're hidden behind an avatar or behind a character, there's this accountability or the lack of accountability, where it doesn't matter. I'm probably never going to see this person again, so it doesn't matter what I say, it doesn't matter what I do. So I can treat them like crap, and that's BS. I'm just flat saying that is BS. You treat everyone, no matter who they are, no matter what they are. Doesn't matter if you don't like gnomes, and you get in a party and there's 3 gnomes. Doesn't matter. You treat them the way you would want to be treated. You know what I mean? But let's step into the can of worms that is Xbox Live. So, for those of you who don't know, Call of Duty, Battlefield, they're huge games, huge multiplayer presence on the consoles, online as well, on PC as well, I should say. But there is, I don't want to call it an epidemic, but we'll call it a plague of people, young people mostly, who just go in there and treat people like crap, calling them all sorts of obscenities that I am not going to repeat. You can look up videos on YouTube that that have them. You can probably just do Call of Duty 12-year-old rant, and you'll get a million hits. All those are abstract numbers, by the way. But still, you can go on YouTube and you can find rants from people about it. I'm trying not to rant here, but just remember that you are playing with people who are 10, 11, 12, 13, all the way up through their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. I know a guy who comes into Target every week pretty much, and he's a Marine, he's a retired Marine, but he plays Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, and stuff like that, and he's 60. So whenever he goes and he plays, and then there's a 12-year-old, granted the 12-year-old can kill him, nothing wrong with that, but when the 12-year-old is ragging on a veteran who's seen this stuff for real, you just don't know who's on the other side of the computer. So treat everyone with respect, whether they're a noob, whether they're a veteran, whether they've played the game for 5 minutes or 5 years. It doesn't matter. Everybody can be a noob at any point. I've had noob moments. I played WoW for 7 years, and I can tell you that in my last raid, when I was leading raids, I still had noob moments. It doesn't, you're not excused to them just because you're a veteran player. We all have them, but think about how you address people. I had this earlier this week. I was helping some guildies run a dungeon. Our tank in my guild and his wife also in my guild. They're the tank and healer. He was tank, she was the healer, and he was having trouble holding AoE threat. Now I know that he's not as experienced as a tank, so I just talked to him about it. I just said, "Hey man, you might want to work on your AoE threat rotation," and I tried to be neutral and civil about it, and he took it perfectly. He went and he talked to the other higher level tanks in our guild, started working on his rotation and stuff like that. Now he tanks AoE just fine, not a problem. That's what it should be. Now, if that were a pug, would I have treated him any differently? No. Would somebody else have treated him differently or just left the group? Probably. Our DPS did it. We killed the first boss. Our DPS bailed. We had to get a new one. Not a big deal because the one we got was even better, you know. But it's something that you treat people the way you want to be treated, and everything's fine. So I'm going to stop saying that over and over and over again and go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you guys for watching. Have a nice day, and I hope to see you guys next week.
Hey guys, thanks again for watching the show. If you'd like to follow us, you can look us up on these social media sites. You can follow us on Twitter at Jordan Raider and at Charles Goldwing. Charles Goldwing is Andrews. You can follow us on YouTube. Hopefully that's where you're watching this, but if it's embedded someplace else, you can follow us on YouTube with the YouTube URL here. www.youtube.com/gaminggold88, and you can also follow us on Facebook at our Facebook page with www.facebook.com/gaminggold88. Thank you guys again for watching. Have a nice day.